tense situation near Rosamond tonight where an armed man barricaded himself, triggering an all-out SWAT response. 23 ABC was first on the scene this afternoon, and Stephen Hicks joins us now to tell us more about what prompted this standoff. Stephen?
Well, Jackie, deputies had been in the area for some time looking for a man who had multiple felony warrants, and just a little before 4 o'clock, they finally found him. 12 miles northwest of Rosamond, in the middle of the Mojave Desert, dozens of SWAT agents and sheriff's deputies converged for a man who barricaded himself in his trailer. But just a few hours earlier, it was a much quieter scene. Just before 4 o'clock, deputies were looking for 33-year-old Luis Macias, who had multiple felony warrants, including assault with a deadly weapon and making terrorist threats. The deputies received a tip that Macias was in this trailer. 5 deputies started to approach when Macias came out and brandished a handgun. 2 deputies then opened fire.
I don't know how many times he was hit. We do know that he was hit at least once. He did sustain some injuries, but we haven't confirmed at this point how many times he was hit.
Macias then retreated into his trailer and SWAT teams were called to the scene. As the teams were arriving, the 2 deputies who shot at Macias had stayed on scene, and nearly 2 hours later, a resolution was reached.
They were able to make contact with him verbally, began speaking to him, and talked to him and convinced him to surrender, and he did.
He was taken into custody and transported by Hall ambulance to a local hospital and is recovering, although the extent of his injuries are not known. As is the case in all officer-involved shootings, deputies are continuing to gather evidence as for what may have led up to the shooting.
We want to make a determination as to what exactly led up to an incident like this.
Now, the sheriff's office tells us there was some indication that the man fired some rounds at the deputies, but that investigation is still ongoing. Jackie, back to you.
Stephen.